Good evening, and thanks for joining us here tonight. We have the SRN All-Star Race. I'm Greg Olenek, joined by Brandon Domain, Jason Tripp, and Sean Griffith here. We're all the team captains for tonight's draft. Boys, are you excited to be here?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Let's go.
Well, I imagine we're going to have a few jokes here tonight, having Tripp and Sean in the booth, and already kind of having one here. I feel like everyone's going to be kind of surprised. I feel like we don't know what Tripp looks like. There he is. Our leader, our fearless leader, picking a team here tonight. Team Stimba going to be on the clock here shortly. The order, though, is going to be Team Wolfpack number 1, Team Silverback number 2, then Team Moo Crew coming in at number 3, and Team Stimba getting that 4th pick. But the way we're doing things here tonight, we're going to pick what selection we have here between the 5 different categories. We have Legends at South Boston, ARCA at Richmond, Street Stocks at Martinsville, Miatas at Bristol, and Radicals at Phoenix. Those are going to be our 5 options here tonight. And the way we're doing it is we're going to pick the Wheel of Destiny. This is what I'm calling it, guys.
Wheel of Destiny. I like that. I'll tell you my favorite right now. I want the Legends. I want the Legends of South Boston.
Okay, all right. What is everybody else feeling here?
Man, you go ahead. You go ahead there, Brandon.
I do enjoy the Legends at South Boston. I like the MX-5s at Bristol. I think the ARCA at Richmond, that's kind of something that we kind of feel already. So I want to do something different. You can throw the Radicals at Phoenix out there. I think that those 3 are going to be a lot of fun just because they're different.
And I'm really excited about the Radicals of Phoenix. I'd like to, we hadn't done too much with that car. I hadn't done anything with that car, but it's really hard to take anything away from the Miatas. The Miatas anywhere are a lot of fun, and certainly at Bristol at Little Track, as Sean Griffith loves to say, can't wait to go back to Bristol. So a little short track racing, that might be on the horizon.
Well, I don't think we can go wrong either way, so let's go ahead and get down to it and see where we're going to be racing come Saturday and Sunday. So just hit the little spin there and see what we got. Miatas at Bristol, boys. So somebody said that they wanted to run that. Yeah, I think this is going to be a blast when we get out there. So that's what's going to be our selection here out of the 5. Miatas at Bristol. What do you guys think?
Well, I know when me and Brandon were testing this thing, we actually tested the MX-5s at Bristol, and we had it on AI, and we had it where AI cars wouldn't avoid you, like they would actually race you. And we were going 3 wide and like cutting in between these cars and stuff like that. And I mean, granted, that's just the AI cars, but it was a lot of fun.
I'll tell you what, I'm super excited to see this here because I've seen that Sean can't drive any of the Cup cars.
Here we go.
Any of it. So maybe he can handle the unbridled raw power of the Miata.
Here it comes.
This is going to be really exciting to see what Sean can do in a car, that a lot of ladies drive. But let's see what happens.
Wow.
Had to go there, didn't you, Tripp? Well, I think Sean's going to have a little help, though, because it's time to get down to it and pick out of these 50 drivers that we have available here tonight. So I mentioned it earlier, the man with the first pick on the clock going to be Team Wolfpack. Brandon, take it away.
I tell you what, you look at this list, there's a lot of great drivers, but there's one person that has made a charge towards possibly taking the most wins ever in SRN in just one season. How can I not go Joseph Causey with the number 1 pick? 4 wins in Cup, 3 in Xfinity. He's had 22 races combined, 16 of them in the top 10. I think that's just a no-brainer for the number 1 pick right now.
I was really hoping he'd screw that up.
Yeah, it's actually really hard not to take Joseph Causey. A lot of very talented drivers in SRN, obviously, but Joseph Causey with a year unlike any other right now. And Sean, you're the one that keeps the record books here. He's got to be nearing the all-time winner or the top of the all-time wins list here with 7 this season alone.
I'll have to double check that. I want to say that the top is 9, just off the top of my head, but I will double check that and I will get back to you probably during the All-Star race itself.
All right, well, that is the first pick, of tonight's draft. So Joseph Causey out of Tank Racing off the board to Team Wolfpack. That's going to leave Team Silverback here on the clock. So let's get down to it. Who you got here tonight?
Okay, so last year when we had this All-Star race, I made a massive mistake I did not choose this person, and this person went on to win the All-Star race. I am not making that mistake again. My pick is Timothy Latham for Team Silverback.
Not a bad pick. Trip, what do you think of that?
I mean, Sean is, no stranger to mistakes. So, Latham was on Team Stimba last year. I mean, maybe this changes Sean's luck having to rob some of my talent to put onto his team this year. But I just hope it doesn't have an adverse effect on Tim. He's done real well this season and last season. But anybody linked up with Sean knows how much trouble that can be.
I love how you said your talent. You've never had talent. You don't have talent. Only talent that you've ever had was for putting people into the wall.
We'll see how the talent is Sunday, Miata man.
Well, Brandon, I want to bring you in. We've caught a couple races together with Timothy Latham and Joseph Causey in it, and both of these guys seem to always be battling one another up towards the front and have a lot of respect for one another. No surprise, these two are our top 2 picks here tonight.
No, not at all. I mean, you look at just the dominant numbers there, the 7 wins, 11 top 5s, all the top 10s, the laps led for Causey. Latham,
53 laps led.
Yeah, that's just ridiculous. But for Timothy Latham, couple wins, a lot of top 5s, not far off on top 10s. One thing he has done is run all but I believe 1 or 2 laps this season in the Cup Series season. So he's got that ability to stay clean out there right now. And tell you what, Miata's at Bristol, that might go a long, long way.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing these two guys out there at Bristol in those little Miatas that we just picked here not too long ago. So with the 3rd pick of the draft, that's going to go ahead and put me on the clock, Team Mubru. And it's kind of hard not to pick Ed Shearer here. He has been dominant since he came back here in Season 3. Won 3 times last season in the Truck Series. He's 2-time winner this season already. 7 top 5s, 12 top 10s while running as an independent. Obviously ran as a Tank Racing team member early on in the season, but took it upon himself to run as an independent and still having great success out there.
I mean, that's a great pick. I mean, you can't go wrong with that pick. Honestly, at the number 2 pick, I could have taken Timothy. I could have taken Ed Shearer. There's another couple people on the board that we could have taken there, but I don't think you can go wrong with Ed Shearer.
And some of these guys with their 2nd season with us, Ed raced couple races with us last season, was incredibly dominant in the time that he was with us. Back this season and has really shown a lot more of that this season as well. So it should be fun to watch him out there in the All-Star race.
Well, let's go ahead and get to it now. That's going to put Trip on the clock here. Team Stimba, pick number 4, the last pick in the 1st round. Trip, you're up.
Be patient with Trip. He's a little bit slow.
Well, fortunately, these guys on my team are not slow. So with the 4th pick, I'm going with Mr. Seth Reed. Can't go wrong with Seth. A couple of wins this season. One of the best placing guys we've had all season long. Cleaned up when it comes to the earnings. I mean, you can't go wrong with a guy like this.
I tell you what, as somebody that's in the Xfinity Series with them, it is so frustrating to see how consistently fast he is out there on the racetrack. No matter what point in the run, he seems to be just a tenth quicker than people in some of these races every single lap. Just incredible pace that he has there, and not a bad pick at all for a 1st rounder.
And he's not on one of those really big teams, the Tank Racings, the JW Racings, the JBRs that are in multiple series and all that stuff. He's with Highline, and Highline's got some great drivers on it, no doubt. But Seth has really pulled that team along. And so, if you have an MVP as far as most valuable to his team, I think that Seth is probably right up there.
Yeah, he puts the results out there on the track, but you can tell he's also helping his teammates out too. Highline has done a great job at making their name known this year. Seth has a lot to do with that, and as a former competitor of Seth's out there, where we battled to the very end last season, I know that he has what it takes. So this is a fantastic pick. And just to take a look at the last 2 picks here, Ed Shearer, Seth Reed, picks 3 and 4 here in the 1st round. Very similar numbers between these two, so great picks here between 3 and 4.
Super similar numbers, one in the Cup side, one in the Xfinity side, and you can kind of look at that as, Cup A level, Xfinity B level, but to me, the competitive nature of both those series is right on par with each other, so these numbers very similar. I think that these are both really good quality picks to close out this 1st round.
Well, this is going to go ahead, put Team Stimba back on the clock here, so take it away, Trip.
Well, for the 5th pick, I mean, this guy really could have gone anywhere as well. I was fortunate enough to have the 4th and 5th, so I was able to scoop up another solid guy from the Xfinity Series. If you're looking at the top 5 week in, week out, you're going to find Kyle Benson there. You can't go wrong with the guy. Got a couple of wins, number of top 5s, like I said, number of top 10s. He is a dominant force on the week-to-week, and it's shown.
I love his attitude, Trip. His attitude on the track, like he's just having a good time. And that's really that's something that you really need on your team, is somebody that's just having fun.
I mean, I could see how you would be interested in people out there having fun.
Yeah, I didn't go there. I was about to say the same thing about you, but I was like, I'm not gonna be that guy. But all right, no, we're gonna do this. Let's do this.
Is to have fun. I mean,
okay.
you know, hey, listen. There would be no first if Sean wasn't in last. That's all I'm gonna say. You know what I mean?
Wow. Oh my God.
We're only to pick number 5, and these guys already.
I can't wait to put him into a wall. I just can't.
Well, that's going to go ahead and put me back on the clock for pick number 6 here. So, looking down the board, a lot of really talented drivers still out here, but how can I not go with this guy right here and bring up Jacob Manning to be a part of Team Moo Crew here. 1 win, 6 top 5, and 7 top 10s here in his rookie campaign out of JW Racing, one of the title contenders here in the Xfinity Series. So I'm liking my pick here, that second round.
I'm not liking it. You took that pick away from me. I 100% would have had him with the next pick had you not picked him.
And you mentioned it, title contender, and that's for good reason. He came out there, got the win right out of the gate, and had those couple really hot races to start. It's weird to say cooled off because he really didn't cool off that much, but it was just from that early pace. Now he's picking it right back up right in time for the playoffs. That's a scary competitor right there at this point.
Well, Sean, I apologize for taking your pick, but still, you get to pick here next. Pick number 7 on the clock. Team Silverback, take it away.
You taking Jacob Manning actually makes my next pick really, really easy. This guy is one of those guys that he could win every single week, but he just doesn't have that win yet. It's Reese Schaefer, and Reese is up there all the time. He's got the 3rd best average finishing rank in the Cup Series, which is incredible. He is the cleanest driver in the Cup Series, which clean driving is going to really come into play here at Bristol. So I really think this is a good. What are you laughing at?
Like
what?
You know anything about clean driving?
That's why I need him on my team. That's why I need him. I know nothing about clean driving because people run into me constantly. Like you.
I didn't run into you. I moved you.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah. You're not on Team Moo and Brew, so no moving.
Yeah. Well, no surprise here, though. Pick number 7, 0 wins, though. But 6 top 5s, 11 top 10s. He's just been up front all season long, and another name we're used to seeing up there, Brandon.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, just that consistent week in, week out, up in the front of the field, really clean, as y'all pointed out, comically, of course. But no, I mean, he legitimately is so clean, and that win is coming. It's just a matter of time.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you guys, Tank Racing overall this season has really put together a number of decent teams. They're contenders in every league. They're strong guys, and guys like Reese are really what made the difference for those teams. So I'm excited to see him out there. He's a contender week in, week out. He's tough on the track. He's exciting to watch. So this is a hell of a pick for Sean there.
Don't let him butter you up, Reese. Wreck him for me.
Well deserving of a second round pick for sure. So you're exactly right, Brandon. That first win is just around the corner. And why not have it start in the playoffs? And that's what we'll be kicking off here in a few weeks here. But that's going to put Brandon back on the clock. Team Wolfpack with their second selection.
And hey, y'all are picking drivers. I can pick a nation. I'm going with Burger Nation there. Seth Berger with the final pick of the second round. Does have that win here this season. But, I mean, just look at the numbers. It's similar to Joseph Causey, and across both those different series, Cup and Xfinity, 11 top 5s, 14 top 10s. Just incredible numbers there from Seth. I am happy that he was still there at number 8.
Hey,
You're going to have the viewership vote.
Yeah, the stats speak for themselves. You can't argue those numbers. That's some serious stuff right there.
Got 1 win, 11 top 5s, 14 top 10s. Just another one of the weapons, I guess you could say, that Tank Racing has in their stable, and he is going to be a contender here for the Bristol race with the Miatas here for the All-Star race on Saturday and Sunday.
Good clothing designer too.
Yeah, definitely check out Bergarts, and if he finishes in the top 3, he will certainly be shouting them out as he always does in the post-race comments. But yeah, you're definitely going to have the fan vote for that race come All-Star weekend, Brandon. So just to recap, here's a look at the first 8 selections, I should say. Joseph Causey, Timothy Latham, Ed Shearer, the first 3 picks. Seth Reed rounding out that first round. Then the Kyle Benson, Jacob Manning, Reese Schaefer, and Seth Berger going in the second round. So this is just a stacked crew right here that has gone in these first 2 rounds.
Yeah, I mean, you look at any of those 8 names, and they're all legitimate first-round picks. Just so much talent there in these first 2 rounds. It's still a lot of really talented drivers left here in 3 and 4 coming up.
Well, let's get right to it and kick off that 3rd round. That's going to put Team Wolfpack back on the clock for pick number 9.
So my first 2 picks in 2 different series combined have about 30 top 10s. I'm going to go ahead and add, I think, 16 or 17 more, and I'm going to go with Brad Herman. Cup driver, truck driver, 2nd place in truck points, 9th in the Cup points. He's 2 times a playoff driver this season. How could I not go with Brad here at the start of the 3rd round?
Strong pick. Really strong pick.
And I mean, you see it right below his name, Season 2 truck champion last year, and trying to defend it in 2 regards. He's running in the Truck Series and Cup Series, and he's got good numbers in both. So not a bad pick here for pick number 9, Brandon.
Hey, winners are winners. Can't deny it.
Absolutely. So going on now, moving on to pick number 10. That's going to put Team Silverback back on the clock here. Take it away, Sean.
Man, I've got one of those team players out there, one of the guys that he gets out there and he just works it every single week, runs tons and tons of laps of practice. He's got that structure on his team that we really need on Team Silverback here. I'm going to go with Drew Ballesteros from JW Racing. 1 win, 5 top 5s, 7 top 10s. You cannot say that he's not up towards the front. He is always up there, and I think that at Bristol he's going to have a good race.
I think go ahead, Brandon. You're a fellow competitor of Drew's here. You've run on the track more than I have this season.
Yeah, I mean, just so much speed there that he has in that 54 car. And he's consistently fast, and that's the big thing. I think no matter what type of racetrack he's on, he does have good speed, and he does put that car in good positions no matter where. So I think these odd combinations could work really well for him.
Yeah, and I was going to say, running on the track with him last season, one of those names I was used to seeing up towards the front, and the story's the same this year. Been in the booth to watch all of his races here this season, and no surprise to see that 54 running up towards the front. So great pick to round out the top 10 here. Drew Ballesteros going to Team Silverback. Sean, you got a good one here.
Just really, really quickly, Trip. He was talking about the front. The front is towards the leaders.
Hey,
I know you're not used to that concept.
I think the one thing that you have going for you here, especially with Drew, is his one race he does have won this season was at Phoenix. So in the short track series, I mean, hey, this may be your guy over here on Bristol, but I'm sure you'll be 0 contribution, so he can appreciate that. So.
Well, we'll see just how much Sean can contribute when we get out there on the track. But let's go ahead now. Move on to pick number 11. These things are just firing off here. So I'm up Team Moo Crew on the clock for their 3rd selection. How can I not take the man here that's fallen all the way into my lap here at number 11? I'm going to go ahead and take Rat Pack Racing's Michael Madden. 2 wins, 4 top 5s, 6 top 10s. And I feel like those numbers could be even better with some better luck out there this season. Has had some races that didn't go his way, but when he's out there till the end, he's battling up front.
He might very well be one of the 3 to 5 hottest drivers right now in the past month heading into the playoffs too. He's got a couple wins since Talladega, just putting together some really good runs, and he really does look like the Michael Madden that we saw in season 1.
Michael Madden's a tough guy. I mean, he's always up there contending. He's always in the front pack. He's always fighting. Ever since he's been here, he's never been off. He's always on. He's had some bad luck, but always a guy that you got to be concerned with.
Third round, you got a real value out of him. You could have taken him in the second round, and nobody would have batted an eye. Nobody would have faulted you for that at all. Getting him here in the third round, there was no way he was going to drop to me in the fourth round. But yeah, that great pick.
Well, thanks, boys. I love it when you just pad my ego a little bit. So yeah, Michael Manna going to Team Moo Crew already, and I gotta say I'm liking the way my team is shaping up so far. So Team Stimba, you're on the clock.
Man, I tell you what, we got a guy here, kind of a little bit of a lone wolf, but came out of nowhere last season and really sparked a little interest in everybody. On one of the baddest teams, JW Racing, James Shane Wolf. I mean, what more can you say about this guy? He's on one of the better teams. They practice nonstop, consistently. They're consistent week in, week out. The guy is strong.
I'm just mad I don't get the name synergy going there with the Wolfpack there. You stole that one from me, but no, really good pick though. I mean, James has a lot of speed in those Xfinity cars, and just one of those guys that just routinely you see him up there, especially top 15, but you're never shocked to see him in the top 3 fighting for a win.
That's right.
Yeah, and I mean, he won at Twin Rings here, and that is one of the more difficult tracks that we've had on the circuit this year. Fortunately, the season hasn't gone the way we expected for James. I really thought he would have been maybe getting 3 or 4 wins this season with the way he ran last year, but still a competitor all the way up until maybe he hit some bad luck out there on the track. But definitely a good pick here still, regardless of his numbers this season. James Shane Wolf here in the third round, a solid pick at number 12. So let's go ahead, puts Team Stimba back on the clock again. Trip here with back-to-back picks. So you got for your 13th pick here?
Number 13, I went with the guy, Blair Holloman. This guy's running in both the Truck Series and the Cup Series. I was real excited about this pick, not knowing exactly where we're going and having somebody who has been very dominant, very strong in both series, and being able to adapt to the truck and the Cup car. You know, he races Cup on Tuesday night, truck on Wednesday night. So I felt confident we could put him in any car on any track, and he's going to be legit.
Yeah, I mean, I think, again, just another one of those picks that even if he had gone in another couple earlier rounds, you could definitely make an argument for it. I think round 4, first pick of round 4, I think that's about the right place for him. But, I mean, again, the stats just show that even though he doesn't have any wins this season, he does have wins. He knows how to win, and he's always up at the front.
It's hard to argue against anybody that's in a playoff in both leagues that they're running. I mean, that's high value right there.
Yeah, that's what I was going to mention. He's one of the drivers, along with Brad Herman, who we saw go number 9 overall, doing double duty, and Joseph Causey, our first pick. So all 3 of those drivers in playoffs in both of their series that they're running. So Blair Holloman, great pick here at pick number 13. So that's going to go ahead and put Moo Crew back on the clock here for pick number 14. Taking a look down this board, and still just a lot of great value out here to be had. And spotted a name right here. I'm going to go ahead with this man, bring up Lane Doyle for pick number 14. Put him on Team Moo Crew along with his teammate here, Jacob Manning. So 2 JW Racing drivers on Team Moo Crew. I'm liking my chances so far, boys.
I mean, you've got a great team getting put together here, and it's a shame that all these JW Racing guys are going to be racing on different teams and stuff like that. So that's going to kind of challenge them a little bit. But I really think all of our teams are shaping up really well.
Hey, anybody coming out of the JW Racing stable is going to be tough. I mean, these guys really put in the work and put in the effort. They're going to be a contender. So it's going to be interesting to see these guys battling against each other. Usually they're working together, but we're going to be able to spread that talent around, and we're all going to be able to benefit from it.
Yeah, Brandon, this is one of those drivers, like we mentioned, Jacob Manning, kind of fizzling out a little bit, but not really. He's just kind of been hiding quietly in the middle of the pack, but finishing top 5s, obviously with 5 top 5s, 8 top 10s. He's been around, but just not getting the win after that Daytona win.
Yeah, it's one of those weird ones. Like we sit there and say, all right, well, we're waiting for just that little extra step, and it's coming from a hot start, and that's kind of where it's unfair. You look at their first handful of races for both Manning and Doyle, and you're just like, man, they started so strong. What happened? And it's like, well, what happened is they're still one of the 5 best drivers in the league, even when it's a cold spot. So, it's not much of anything wrong going on there. So great pick here, and I see what you're doing, taking all the young guys here from JW Racing.
Yeah, we'll see if we got a good stuff. We got some good stuff going on over here at Team Moo Crew, but yeah, that's going to be 14th pick, Lane Doyle on Team Moo Crew over here. So that's going to go ahead and put Silverback on the clock for pick number 15 here. Sean, who you got?
I'm so excited about this pick because the 3 of you have failed. You have absolutely failed at your task of going through the draft boards and figuring out who is the best of the best. How can you let Adrian Schumacher drop to number 15? He won the freaking Xfinity Series last season, and you guys let him drop to number 15. Shame on all of it.
Maybe I'm still a little salty. Maybe that's why I let him fall a little bit. He's the one that beat me in that Xfinity Series championship. But no, great pick here. The champion in the Xfinity Series last year.
We're not even sure if he's real. We hadn't seen pictures of him. You know what I'm saying? He hadn't said a whole lot. He comes in, dominates. I just don't know. The name sounds made up. This is a perfect guy for Sean's make-believe team. That's what I'm most excited about.
How can you say that when you actually had to pay him $500 last season?
Hey, I paid somebody.
Well, he might be a hired gun here. We don't know, so it's a good point that Tripp makes up. But, 2 wins all time, 9 top 5s, and 12 top 10s. He's run a little bit here and there this season, maybe 2 or 3 races, but in those races, he's been up towards the front.
He is definitely Sean Stig.
I'm telling you, guys, go ahead, make fun of it all you want. But I just picked up a first rounder at number 15, so y'all go ahead and have fun.
All right, well, Team Wolfpack gonna be on the clock. Brandon, who you got here at pick number 16?
Y'all just keep leaving the top 10s for me and the top 5s for me. Somebody with 3 podium finishes in the last 5 races. Landon Cardulo still sitting there at 16. I will take that pick all day long.
Oh, that's a great pick. I hate that you got him.
It's kind of odd that he didn't make it this far, but it just goes to show the talent that we have here in SRN, because you're right, we thought he was going to be a title contender last season and a title contender this season. Very great pick here in the 4th round.
A little salty that you got him, to be completely honest.
All right, well, let's go ahead and take a look at the recap of the picks 9 through 16. Going to go ahead and bring them up right here. There you see it. Brad Herman going number 9, Drew Ballesteros at number 10, Michael Madden there at number 11, James Shanewolf number 12, Blair Holloman 13, Lane Doyle 14, Adrian Schumacher 15, Landon Cardulo just getting picked up by Team Wolfpack. Great pick by Brandon.
Gosh, we let him get Herman and Cardulo in the same draft.
Yeah, 7 picks or 8 picks apart at that too, so it's kind of crazy. Those two always battling in the Truck Series together. They're going to be on the same team here, Team Wolfpack.
It'll work. It's gonna work. We're all one wolf pack. It's too sweet over here in this world. So,
well, while you're at it, go ahead and pick another member of your wolf pack. You're back on the clock again here for pick number 17. Who you got?
And I'm going to stay in the Truck Series, and I'm going to go with somebody that we used to call a bit of a wild thing out there, but had a bit of a change here this season. I think it's made him an even more complete and an even better driver. I'm going to go with Andrew Harris here in round number 5, because I just like the speed that he has in that 87 truck, and I think, we knew coming in that we were going to have a short track. It was just which one. I like his aggressiveness when it comes to the short tracks as well.
Yeah, fairly certain he won at Bristol when we went there last time in the Truck Series, if I'm not correct, right?
I remember
I will check
Darlington.
that right now, actually.
Yeah, so this could be a good pick for the way that wheel worked out with us going to Bristol here in the Miatas. And
he did.
And I thought so. And Brandon, we've been calling truck races all season long. Andrew Harris has been very impressive here of late. Didn't have the start that he wanted, but man, he's probably been one of the top 3 drivers here in the last 4 or 5 weeks.
He has definitely been exceptional in the second half. Sorry about that.
No worries. And you also have to remember who these guys are. This is a guy that was with us last season, and was dominant for most of the season. He was a guy that was up front. He was hard to get around, hard to beat. That guy's in there. Like you said, he's had a little slow start to the season, but we still know who he is and what he's capable of.
Well, that's going to go ahead, put Team Silverback on the clock. Rapidly going through this draft here in round number 5, pick number 18, Team Silverback. Who you got?
This is really where it gets tough in the draft here in the middle portions. But, I'm going to pick up somebody from the Cup Series here. Doesn't have a win yet, but it does have the 7th best average finish. I'm going to pick up Michael Politis.
Yeah, Michael has had a very quietly good season after making his rookie campaign last year in Season 2. 2 top 5s, but 8 top 10s, and finds himself in the SRN Cup Series playoffs. So a lot to race for, and he's had some good momentum here in the last couple of weeks. Solid pick.
The other thing to note with him is we were talking about Reese Schaefer being the cleanest driver in the Cup Series. Michael Politis is tied with him in that regard. And so cleanliness is next to godliness, and godliness is what Team Silverback is all about.
Man, I feel like he had that ready to go.
I was ready for that, man. I've been waiting for that one.
He had that in the holster all afternoon.
Well, there you go. You finally got to deliver here. So solid pick here for Team Silverback at pick number 18. So pick number 19 going to go to Team Moo Crew here. And you're right. This is exactly when it starts to get hard. All these guys seem to be pretty even. But I'm going to go with a guy I'm used to seeing running up towards the front here in the Xfinity Series. Hasn't had the year he's wanted so far. But I'm going to go ahead and take Max Service. 0 wins, but man, he's always up towards the front in that 89 Ford Mustang. Out of tank racing. 2 top 5s, 7 top 10s. Good numbers here. And I'm liking my pick here, pick 19.
You talk about Michael Politis being a clean driver. I look at Max Service in a lot of the same light. He'll sit there, whether he starts near the back or he starts up near the front, just by the middle of the race, he's up there in the top 10, just sitting in a good position with a really clean race car. That's going to be very helpful at Bristol.
He's a great teammate too. I mean, anybody on tank racing, they really work well together. I think Max is really in a good spot there. I think whatever he brings to Team Moo Crew is really going to rub off on everybody else too.
Again, strong guy. You see the top 5s, you see the top 10s. I'm surprised that he made it this far into the draft without being scooped up. Great pickup for Team Moo Crew, certainly.
Well, he is off the board, and now that's going to go ahead and turn the clock over Team Stimba here for pick number 20 to round out top 5, or round number 5, excuse me. Who you got here, Trip?
I am going with the namesake of Murray Reedy Motorsports, Tyler Murray. Can't go wrong with Tyler. I mean, this guy is put together a hell of a team here. He's got a lot of backing. I'm going to have him on the track with his boy Kyle Benson. We're going to have a little teamwork within the team.
That'll
here.
be a fun team.
Absolutely. We are set out to take down Sean and whatever band of gypsies he puts on the track with him. So
I mean, I love the hat there too. I mean, you can't fault a guy for wearing that hat. You can't do it.
That is correct.
Yeah, so I think this is a very solid pick. He's going to start the playoffs out in position number 8 with the bonus points that he was able to accrue this season. And I mean, he's probably not had the year he's wanted stats-wise, but as a fellow competitor, Brandon, Tyler Murray he's no pushover out there.
No, absolutely not. Just really good out there, week in and week out for sure. And I'm starting to realize that I might have a little bit of a rivalry here with Tripp's team now, with Team Stimba, because you got 2 of the Murray Reedy guys. That's who my team, Phoenix Virtual Racing, is going up against in the first round of the Xfinity playoffs. So might have a little target on y'all now.
Well, there we are.
Easy now, boys. We still got time before we get to the playoff action. We got to get through this all-star race first. So let's go ahead, put Team Stimba back on the clock for pick number 21 to kick off the 6th round.
Well, with the next pick, I'm going with our Truck Series driver, Nathan Nixon from Rat Pack Racing. Nathan's 3 top 10s, 2 top 5s. Had a team change mid-season. Had to get together with a whole new band of guys, start working together, and has stuck with it. And I expect him to turn it on here, and exciting to watch. Fun guy on the track, and we're gonna see what he's all about come this All-Star race.
yeah, I mean, he's been a winner here in SRN. He won the Daytona road course race last season, so he knows how to get it done. And he's been a little preoccupied this season here in Season 3 with the birth of his new baby here earlier on this season. But yeah, he's come on strong here lately, been running very solid in that 98.
Yeah, it'll do it for anybody, honestly.
Well, let's go ahead and move on here, get to pick number 22. That's going to go ahead and put me here in the Team Moo Crew stable back on the clock. Looking at this driver here, I've had my eyes on him for a round or two now, and he's still here. I'm going to go ahead and pull the trigger. And I'm going to go ahead and take Matthew Greathouse, a rookie here this season. And Brandon just hinted at Phoenix Virtual Racing. This guy races for him. He's one of the best out of that camp. And 5 top 10s, hasn't cracked the top 5s yet, but this 51, man, he has been really playing around with the poles lately and has been running really solid. Just finds himself not able to seal the deal at the end.
Really fast, really good in the practice settings as well that we have as a team, and just really puts in the time, knowledgeable about the racetrack, really does work towards kind of knowing what everything's going to feel like on that racetrack. And I know, we spent a lot of time working on Watkins Glen on the road courses and things like that, and just the amount of progress, the amount of time he put into that tells me a lot about his driving style. This is a really good pick.
One of the things with Matthew is he's been up front a few times in those races, and because of internet issues or for blinking issues, we've had to send him back to the back, and that's really, really hurt him along the way. So really those 0 top 5, 0 wins, that could be 2 or 3 wins, 2 or 3 top 5s had those internet issues not popped up.
And these things, I mean, these guys that are new to us, they're still getting used to racing around the guys that we have in these leagues and getting themselves comfortable and settled in. This is Matthew's first season with us, and like you said, he's had some blinking issues that have taken him out of contention in a couple different races. So, and we had some that he's had to move the back of the field and made himself back up to the front and contended for the win. So I'm excited to see him on the track come Sunday.
That's going to go ahead, turn the clock back over to Team Silverback here for pick number 23 here in the 6th round. A lot of good talent still out here, Sean. Who you thinking?
Ton of good talent out there. I've got to go with momentum. This guy, he has, in the last 4 races, he's been in the top 10 3 times. 1 podium finish in that time. The 4 times this season that he has started in the top 10, he has finished in the top 6. So I'm going to pick Lane Hosler from Ohio Sim Racing. I really think this is a guy that if he gets a good start at Bristol, you're going to be tough catching him.
Yeah, I love this pick, man. Like I've preached all year, I'm so excited to see Ohio Sim Racing over here, Racing and Speed Racing Network. It's kind of like a clash between 2 worlds for me because I ran in their league for a while, and I know exactly who this guy is, and he is a contender every week. Yet to crack victory lane. That just goes to show the talent that we have in this Cup Series. But Lane is getting close. 2 top 5s and 4 top 10s. And in the playoffs in his first season, those are some pretty good accolades for driver 61.
Yeah, again, certainly no joke. I mean, this guy knows what he's doing out on the track, and brought himself and a number of guys from Ohio Sim Racing here. And, all those guys are added to the talent level, and he's just another example of that.
Team Wolfpack going to be on the clock now. Pick 24 to round out round number 6. Brandon, who you got here?
Well, I still spy a couple of race winners out here on the board, and I'm going to pick up one of them that's got a ton of experience. Give me old number 18, Bobby Anderson out here. 26 races between Cup and Trucks. Does have that win at Las Vegas just a couple of weeks ago, and I do feel a little bit guilty. I feel like I've hit him with the broadcast curse. I know he's a big believer in that a couple of times this season, but he is in the playoffs in the truck side. Has a shot still at getting in on the Cup side as well with that lucky dog. I can't pass up Bobby Anderson here at 24.
I mean, that's a great pick. I mean, I raced with him in a different series on the same team, and he is just a wealth of knowledge, and he freely gives that knowledge out to other people. And I mean, just really one of those guys that he will push you to the finish and won't even ask questions about it.
Taking a look at the last 8 picks here, and it's just wild to see rounds 3 and 4. Actually, I'm getting them all wrong. This is rounds 5 and 6. Just look at the talent here that has taken names here. A lot of these guys, you can find them in victory lane each week, and some really valuable picks added to each one of these teams.
Hey, Sean, victory lane is where the winners go after they've won the race.
How would you know?
I've heard stories.
Well,
I've seen it on the broadcast.
let's go ahead, move on now. Pick number 25, going to put Team Wolfpack back on the clock. Who are you looking at here?
Well, speaking of victory lane, how about the first driver that was in victory lane this season back in Daytona in the Cup Series? Give me Devin Zimmerman. We already had one ringer go with Adrian Schumacher, part-time driver, getting a couple really strong runs. How a win from Devin Zimmerman in one of his 6 races this season.
Great pick. He just got a win, didn't he? He just got a win at in the First Responders League. Also,
He did, yes. I believe that's correct.
Yeah, so, Brandon, you and I have run against Devin for a long time. Devin, playoff driver last season, has had some things tie up his time here this season, so he wasn't able to run the whole year, but it was looking really good to start with that first ever win here in SRN. So that's why the numbers look the way they do. He's got 1 win, 1 top 5, and 1 top 10, because he's only run a handful of races this season, but he is going to be a threat out there. Once we even the playing field with those Miatas at Bristol, I think Devin's going to be looking forward to maybe posing as an upset threat here when we get out there.
Zim's been a guy that we've had around with SRN. I think even back to Mid-South Madness days. Always been a guy who was on the track as a contender week in, week out. We know what he's capable of, and excited to see him here in the All-Star race. And I think he's even going to be seeing him on the track a little bit more towards the end of the season here, as he's going to be able to return to some action.
All right, looking forward to seeing him out there then. So, yeah, great pick here at number 25. So let's go ahead and move on. Pick number 26. That's going to Team Silverback. Sean, you're on the clock.
Zimmerman won that first race at Daytona, but his teammate won one of the duels at Daytona, and so that was Emerson J. Ardon himself won one of those Daytona duels. He's had a couple good finishes along the way, and a couple of those finishes have been on short tracks at Phoenix and Iowa. So loving this pick here on a short track like Bristol. I think I'm going to get a lot of value out of it.
Yeah, we don't have a most improved award here, but if we did, I would definitely consider Emerson for that award. Just not the season he wanted at all last year, but finds himself racing in the playoffs and running really well for the majority of this season. Granted, he has a bad race every now and then, but 2 top 5s and 4 top 10s, not easy to come by those numbers here this season.
You know what I loved was a couple weeks ago when he got up in the top 3, got up into the booth, and just how much that meant to him too. There was a few weeks there where things were really rough for him on the racetrack, but then getting back into that top 3, putting together a run like that, you could just hear how much that meant. And I absolutely love that passion and think that takes you so far when it comes to racing, whether it be real life sim, however it is. I think that just makes you so much better.
Yeah, he was very excited to be up there, and it's just cool to hear that emotion. And I can't wait to hear it when he finally cracks that victory lane curse and finally gets that car up to P1 at the end of a race. He's getting really close to doing just that, but it's going to be contending for that $500 here this year. So great pick going to Team Silverback at number 26. That's going to go put Team Moo Crew here on the clock, and I'm going to stick with the trend here. We've had a little bit of a string of tank racing drivers. I'm going to stick with the theme, and I'm looking down this list, and I like what I see with Ben Park here this season, a rookie here in SRN, but running really, really well in the truck series, pulling double time, filling in for what was Vincent Cortez's ride in the 23 in the Xfinity Series, but 2 top 5s and 5 top 10s in the truck series, and he's got another one in the Xfinity Series. And Dark Tank Racing has been a very pleasant surprise here as a team goes this year, and they're in a 2 seed, so they're going to be contending for that team championship. Ben Park has a lot to do with that.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I think that's a great pick, and I think you've got his brother still on the board at some point in this draft that's still out there to be picked. So Ben's going to have those bragging rights over his brother.
I'll tell you what, just another example of what Tank and Dark Tank has done this season, what they brought to the table. Another strong guy. He and his brother have been a huge addition to that team. Look forward to watching Ben really take off in the All-Star race here.
And I want to say, all those top 10s, I believe all but one of them have come in the last 7 or 8 races. Just an unbelievable stretch that he's had lately.
Yeah, so Team Stimba going to be on the clock for pick number 28. Who are you looking at here, Trip?
Now, I will tell you, you boys have screwed up. You guys...
It's not the first time.
You guys have slept on my boy here. Mr. Danny, I don't blink anymore. Dow.
That's a good pick.
Come on now. I know he's had a little bit of rough go this season here, but this guy is a champion. Don't let that slip your mind as he's riding past all your guys on his way to the win here at the All-Star race.
You remember where he won the championship in Mid-South Madness Season 1? Do you remember where he won it?
I do. Why don't you tell the viewers, Sean?
It was at Bristol.
That's right. That's
Bristol,
exactly
so
right.
He knows his way around, that's for sure.
He's an accomplished dirt racer. This guy knows his way around small tracks. So you guys are about to learn something this weekend, fellas.
Yeah, I'm gonna learn how you can come in last place and still smile.
Definitely a racing family, so he knows how to wheel it around here. But you're right, he hasn't had the year he's wanted. Zeros across the board as far as top 5s, top 10s go, and not contending in the playoffs as it stands, but still a contender for that playoff lucky dog. So do not take your eyes off of driver number 21 here. Great pick going to Team Stimba. So that's going to go ahead and put Team Stimba back on the clock here for pick 29. So double dipping here, Trip. Take it away.
Let me ask you, how is this guy still here, right? That's what everyone wants to know.
Oh, don't take who I think you're going to take. Please don't.
How is Aaron Gerwitz available?
Oh, I hate you.
I mean, this guy's been around forever. The founder of Phoenix Virtual Racing. This dude is legit. You guys are going to see. I mean...
I really hope you
I know.
That sucks.
You're just getting me in trouble in all kinds of ways now, taking two of my teammates in back-to-back picks.
Hey, listen, I'm just creating winners. It's what we do.
Yeah, one of my teammates last year, one of the coolest, calmest drivers out there, so he's going to keep maybe the short track tempers in check for your team, Stimba. Great pick, though. Winner here. Broke into the win column last season at the end of Season 2 at Atlanta. He was just so excited, man. But yeah, he's not had the year he's wanted. He's going to try and make an attempt at that playoff lucky dog to get back into the playoffs for the third consecutive season. But great pick here at number 29. So that's going to go ahead and cycle it back over to me here at Team Moo Crew. And like I said, guys, I'm a man of the trends. I'm seeing a trend right now, and Brandon mentioned his teammates. And I'm going to go ahead and take another one off the board here. Jeremy Little's sitting here just kind of hiding out. And, guys, pick number 30. This guy's been running around the front at the races he's been able to make this year, but just always finds a way to bite himself in the foot, whether it's black flags on pit road or just getting involved in incidents. That's why his numbers are not really nearly reflective of how he's run this year. Jeremy Little, come on over, Team Mooker, bud.
What marvelous facial hair, too, man. I mean, I could never grow that.
As a beard man myself, I'm loving it.
I'm not man enough for that.
Great beard, great teammate as well. I can vouch for that a lot. You know, he's so good every week in the team practices that we have. We do kind of blend the Cup and the Xfinity guys together in those, and just always open to share the knowledge, always open to kind of test things out himself, to kind of be the guinea pig on things. And man, I think that kind of combination, I know he enjoys the short tracks, and this is going to be a good setup for him here coming up this weekend.
Team Silverback is back on the clock for, personally, my favorite pick of the whole draft, pick number 31.
I don't know why that's your favorite pick of the draft, but I like this driver a lot. He's got a couple of top 5s in there, races for JW Racing. Nick Halda, come on down, buddy.
Yeah, Nick Halda out of JW Racing with a solid but quiet year. 3 top 5s. How does a guy with 3 top 5s fall back here? Pick
because
31.
You guys are bad at this. Y'all are terrible at this.
And we wanted to help you out and let him fall a little bit, and then you took you 30 picks to pick him, but he's off the board here, pick number 31. It's Nick Halda, solid pick.
Hey, every one of these JW Racing guys are a threat. I mean, pick any one of them, right? They're all strong, and Nick is obviously no different.
All right, so that's going to hand it over to Brandon. I can tell he's focused and trying to look at his board here because he's a little quiet right now. Brandon, who you eyeing up right now?
I got to make it up to my team and having that run of Phoenix Virtual Racing guys. I got to get somebody, and Oh, by the way, here at pick number 32 is Scott Kalal. I'll gladly take Scott at the closeout this round. 6 top 10s, 4 top 5s, round of 10 playoff driver last season. Scott, I think, is one of those sleepers here as we get into the playoffs on the Cup side this season.
I'm a gambling man, and I just bid it there because I was gambling on him maybe sliding a little further. Thought you guys forgot about him, but 4 top 5, 6 top 10s.
Maybe I'm wrong on this, but Sean, correct me if I'm wrong. Scott Kalal, I know last season he was in the championship race, but couldn't make it. Isn't that correct?
No, that was Gabriel Ellison that you're thinking
of.
Yeah.
Damn it. Okay,
but no,
pull that out.
It's funny that you say that, though, because Scott is one of those guys who could have easily been in that championship race, just very consistent, but yet to crack that win column, like we say about a lot of drivers here, he's just so close to getting that thing in victory lane.
I got him screwed up, but Scott, still strong.
All right, so let's go ahead and take a look here. Last 8 picks: Zimmerman, Ardon, Ben Park, Danny Dow, Aaron Gerwitz, Little, Halda, and Kalal. Those are your last 8 picks. So we are moving through this thing.
He said moving.
Yeah, hey, I was seeing if you old guys would catch on to that.
He said moving.
I can't slip anything past y'all. So let's go ahead and move on to pick number 33. That's putting Team Wolfpack back on the clock. What do you got?
Let's keep the PVR train rolling. And you mentioned Emerson Ardon as being a contender for the most improved driver. I got another one here with Josh Siegfried. And I think this has really been a breakout season for him. 4 top 10s out there. Only 3 finishes worse than 20th this season. He has been very consistent on the racetrack.
Yeah, he's been up towards the front a lot more than people expected him to this season based on what happened last season too. And so very vastly improved driver. So that's, man, 33, that's an incredible pick.
I think I noticed what Brandon's strategy here is. He's trying to get the audience on his side because Josh, another one of those guys with a bunch of fans out there watching him race, and rightfully so. He's putting on a good show here this year. One of my former Rev Racing teammates now over at Phoenix Virtual Racing, and I'm really proud to see how well he's doing this year. He takes this very seriously and well deserving of this really good pick here at pick number 33. Slid back pretty far. They could be racing with his teammate here, Brandon Domain, a Team Wolfpack. So solid pick, Brandon. But let's go ahead and move on. Pick number 34. That's going to put Team Silverback back on the clock.
Man, I had this guy in the mid-20s, and I'm picking him up here at number 34. Just a quick history. Striker Motorsports, I started that team back in Mid-South Madness Season 2. Brought on a couple guys, and then Travis Trevelyan took it over and brought in this guy. And he's kind of been on a down couple of seasons, but this season he has had a massive resurgence. Jose Castellanos, and just to throw this out there, 3 top 5s, the last one being at Kansas. So he's, again, got that momentum.
Yeah, Jose and I came in on the same recruiting race. We were teammates there at Striker right off the jump, and I got to know him pretty well. And I was hoping he would maybe last one more round here, but yeah, I mean this is just a great pick. And I know it's been a rough stretch here in the midway point of the season, getting near these playoffs, but he's starting to light it back up. I think he's got that intensity going again. This is a really solid pick at 34.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it because this is another one of those guys I was hoping was just going to quietly keep falling here, and I was going to snipe him this round, but of course he goes the pick before I was going to take him. So Jose Castellanos off the board here at 34 to Team Silverback. So that's going to put Team Moo Crew back on the clock. Taking a look now, since Sean was very rude and took one of my drivers here on my list I was going to look at, but I'm still tickled about this pick. And with the 35th pick of this draft, I'm going to go ahead and take Nathan De La Rosa. And a quick little tidbit before you look at his numbers and see the zeros, that is not nearly reflective of how well the 66 is run. I've been very impressed with De La Rosa here this year. And he's going to be competing for a championship as well. He's one of our playoff drivers. So to get a playoff driver at 35, it's a steal in my book.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was just going to say he's one of the ones that frustrated me because he was right above that cut line. I was just below, and it felt like that all season long. No matter where I was running, I would always look up a couple cars, and there was Nathan just right in front of me. So I'm absolutely impressed by what he's done this season.
All right, I'm going to take a shot at one of the other captains here, so everybody pay attention. He reminds me a lot of Brandon Domain. He is in the top 10 constantly throughout the race, and then just something bad happens at the end and knocks him out. And I mean, that's sorry, but it's just that's the truth. I think he's an incredible driver, and I think in these MX-5s, I think he is going to really be able to show that talent because there's a lot more control on the track, I think, with those. So I think he's going to do really well.
I mean, think about this. You want to talk about consistency. Look at the guy here. You look at these numbers. 0 wins, 0 top 5s, 0 top 10s, and in the playoffs. And in the playoffs.
Okay. I thought you were just going to stop there at 0-0-0. That's consistent.
That's
last place. That's pretty consistent for you.
No, sir.
No, it's a great point, though, Trip. Yeah, he's been around. He just hasn't cracked the top 10. He's been running there, but still with JBR and having Jonathan Byer in his ear, he definitely has a great crew chief over there, and it's paying off. So 66 going to Team Moot Crew here, and I'm liking it so far. So that's going to go put Team Stimba back on the clock for pick number 36. Take it away.
You know, another guy from the JW Racing stable, Dean Gagliano. I love this guy. Classy guy, gets out there week in, week out, putting effort in with his team. I mean, the guy's strong. The entire team is strong. You can't go wrong with anybody from JW Racing, and Dean is certainly no different.
There have been a lot of good Deans coming through Speed Racing Network. One of them that crosses my mind is Dean Brummett being really, really good, and Dean Gagliano is right up there. I mean, he has got the talent to be up there at the front, and the sole problem that I see with Dean is that his teammates are so good also that there's just not a lot of room to share sometimes, and he's kind of gotten bit by that bug.
Yeah, and I really like seeing the progress that he's had this season. Just seems very, very sportsman-like out there as well. Always have a soft spot for that. But you can just see him getting better and better as this season has gone on.
Yeah, I was actually literally just going to say that. You took the words right out of my mouth. It's really cool. I mean, I do miss racing, but being able to see all these guys race all season long, you really start to see the ones that are showing some growth. And Dean is one of those guys who's really been improving. Didn't have the start with the way his team started out. You know, he didn't have that kind of start, but has really been putting together some really good finishes here lately. So great pick here, going to Team Stimba on pick number 36. But that's going to put them right back on the clock. Team Stimba has pick number 37 here to kick off the 10th round.
I'll tell you, this next guy here, I mean, he's quiet, doesn't say much on the track, but you hear him out there, you see what he's doing. And also, P2 in the Xfinity Series at Dover, which is really going to come in handy here, Dylan Patterson. Can't go wrong with this guy. Top 5, top 10. Strong dude. Always on the track, always making noise. Always out there, always contending.
He definitely has the talent to be out there for sure. He's had a really down season this season, especially by his standards. His standards, he should be in the top 5 every single race. And he's got the talent to do it and just hasn't called the brakes this season.
You know, that's the benefit of us being around, obviously, from the beginning, is being able to see these guys who've been with us for a long time. You know, it's easy to look at this season and say, okay, he's having a little off season, he's had some bad luck thrown his way, but we know what these guys are capable of. We know what they can do.
Yeah, like I'll look at the field and where people are qualifying and look at practice times, and I'll always kind of sit there, and he's one of those ones that I'll be like, man, like I don't understand why he's back here right now. Like he's got the speed to be up there, and just things happen out there on the racetrack, and it seems like that bug's kind of got him this season.
Yeah, he can let his temper get the best of him sometimes, that's for sure. But man, when he keeps it in check, Patterson, one of the faster drivers out there. I'm used to running with him in the Xfinity Series as well, and just not had the year he's had in years past. So maybe he turns it around for you at the All-Star race. He goes number 37 to Team Stimba. So moving on, pick number 38, Team Mukru back on the clock. Like I keep telling you, I'm a broken record at this point, boys. I'm a trend guy here. I've had one already this draft. I'm going with another one. And by that, I think I'm going with another Park brother. I'm going to take Daniel Park off the board here at number 38. Dark Tank Racing's number 6 going to go over to Team Moot Crew.
You enjoy
brother
another...
at 38? That's a steal.
Yeah, I was gonna say you enjoy another one there, DJ Khaled, as you were going with that. But I tell you what's really impressed me here with this is Dan. The first 8 races, I had this note last week, so it's changed a little bit. But he was averaging a 24th place finish the first 8 races. Ever since he cracked the top 5 at Dover, his average finish has been around 13th place. Incredible run the past few weeks.
Yeah, you definitely like that momentum, especially as you go into playoff time, regardless of whether you're in the playoffs or not. But you've got to love that momentum when the time is right, and this is the right time.
Daniel Park is off the board at number 38, Team Moo Crew, getting both Park brothers here for the All-Star race. So we'll see if they can use that dark tank racing mojo, maybe come away with a win for Team Moo Crew. So that's going to put Team Silverback back on the clock. Pick number 39.
You know, the first time I ever saw this guy in a race, somebody told me that guy, he's going to win. Now, he didn't end up winning that race or anything like that, but you can definitely see the talent is there. He's had a really good season this season and did just enough to get into the playoffs. Jordan Sailors.
I'll tell you something, you guys. Some of you guys may know this, some of you guys may not. Jordan Sailors was the first teammate I ever had with iRacing. He and I were on a team in another league. That's how I met Jordan when I started Mid-South Madness and Corey Knight. He was one of the first guys I brought over. So Jordan, known him since I started with iRacing, and my first teammate ever. And I know what this guy's capable of. You guys, certainly much stronger than the 39th pick. Another steal here.
See, I did not know that. I would have held it against him had I known that. So thank you for holding out.
That's what I told you now. And unfortunately for Jordan, I did message him and apologize that if I did not pick him and Sean got him, that would be a bad situation. So I just like Latham, I've already messaged him and told him that I apologize for what's happened to him too. So those things happen.
Pick number 40 going to Team Wolfpack here. Who you got to round out round number 10?
Man, y'all just left another diverse driver out here. 7 Cup starts, 13 Xfinity starts, couple top 10s mixed in there. I'll take Zach Deuscher sitting here somehow and still round 10 at this point. He's got a top 10 on the Xfinity side in Coda. I believe he had another one there at Watkins Glen on the Cup side. I might be off, though. He might have been 11th looking at those numbers there. But he was right up there. Good speed, good aggression that I think will translate well on a short track also.
Yeah, I like this pick. I mean, really, one of the things that a lot of the drivers here are going to know him for is the post that he made about the setups and stuff like that. Everyone's going to be on the same setup here, definitely 100%. So there's no doubt about that. But when you get equal rank out there, I really think that Zach has a shot, and that's all he needs is a shot.
Yeah, so we're going to see how he does for Team Wolfpack. So that's your 40th pick of the draft. That's going to round out round number 10. So let's go ahead and take a look at the last 2 rounds as we've always done. Round 9 and 10, Josh Siegfried, Castellanos, De La Rosa, Gagliano, Patterson Park, and Sailors and Deuscher are going to round out the last 8 picks. So it's just fascinating as I keep bringing up these slides as we go on through this draft, just seeing the drivers that are still going off the board. I mean, you got Siegfried, Castellanos, a couple of playoff drivers there, De La Rosa going in this round, and then Sailors down there as well. And the guys that didn't make the playoffs, they were in contention but just didn't make it.
I've got to tell you, I think I've won the middle rounds here. I hope you guys pull something out in these later rounds, because if not, y'all are in some serious trouble.
That's the only winning you're going to do, so we're going to have to give it to you.
Well, Wolfpack back on the clock. Pick number 41. Take it away, Brandon.
Speaking of winning, this is somebody that's relatively new, doesn't have a win, but I think will in the near future. Really impressed with this guy with just 10 starts, Connor Cunningham. Really just like how he keeps a clean wheel out there. Seems to be having a good time making passes and quality passes at that. Really impressed by him early on.
Yeah, another one of the mysterious drivers out of the Tank Racing stable. But yeah, we've been having a good time watching him. He's run a little bit in the Cup Series, but primarily in the Truck Series this year. One of those drivers we're used to seeing make their way up towards the front. And one of those drivers that's finding himself in contention for that hard Charger award. So he's used to passing cars. This is a great pick.
And that's a sneaky pick. That's a
He's another guy that has shown that he can get it done in the truck. He can get it done in the Cup car. I expect big things out of him when it comes to Miatas. I mean, he's a guy that can get it done, so it's going to be fun to watch.
Team Silverback on the clock now. Pick number 42. Just a few picks left to go. Who you still got your eye on out here?
I'm going to pick up a part-timer. He's got a lot of stuff on his schedule. He does softball. He does bowling. He does all these different things that have kind of taken his time away from Speed Racing Network a little bit. But when he's on the track, he's good. And he's got the experience. I'm picking Dave Fuchs Jr.
I just hate that with adding everything to Dave has in his life and everything he's done, and now his impressive resume can add being selected to the losing team in the All-Star race. So there's always that. That's something not to look forward to, I would say.
You can't let one pick go by? One?
No, not one. Not one.
Wow, because you let cars go by you all the time.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay. We'll halfway through the race if you're still there.
Well, moving on now, let's take a look at the pick here coming in for Team Moo Crew. Looking down here, I'm seeing, Brandon, you mentioned earlier keeping your eye out for past winners. There's still one right here on the board. It's a man that won at Talladega last season. I'm going to take Byron McDonald. And I love Byron. He finally cracked the top 5 last week, so he's got 1 top 5 to his name, 2 top 10s out of Bobby Anderson Racing. But this man has put it in victory lane before, and probably one of the most competitive guys I know. Loves sports. He wants to be the best, and I love the drive. He took the challenge of going to the Cup Series and has stuck to it. He's starting to really show some gains.
That, and also, I mean, you talk about how competitive he is, and everything like that, just really pushes to do as well as he can, and at the same time, one of the most likable guys. I don't really know anybody that has anything bad to say about Byron. Just one of the good guys out here. So happy to see him come off the board. Wish it would have been to my team, but I had those opportunities. But this is a great pick here at 43. Surprises me he's still there.
Man, when he won that race, everybody was excited for him, and that just shows how good of a guy he is, and how big of a competitor that he is. That you can still have all those people out there that are competing against you, but are still your fans. I mean, it's huge.
Another bar guy, and certainly, like you're saying, Sean, definitely a fan favorite.
Well, he's one of my favorites now. He's coming over to Team Moo Crew, my former teammate, coming back to race with me. So let's go ahead and move on now to Team Stimba. Put them on the clock here. Take it away.
All I'm going to say is the doctor is in. I'm picking Doc Holliday. You can't go wrong with Doc Holliday. Now, let me tell you something. Don't be confused by Doc Holliday here. This is the enforcer of Team Stimba. He ain't taking no crap from anybody. That's what I love about Doc Holliday.
They got you back there. I mean, why do they need another enforcer?
Well, he's successful at doing it.
Let's go ahead and put Team Stimba back on the clock. It's kind of getting past both these guys' bedtime, Brandon, so we don't want to keep them up too much later. Let's get to pick number 45.
Let me tell you about this guy, the original hard-charging underdog, Rob Yost Jr. Hey, what more can you say about the guy? He loves being the underdog. Here he is in the 12th round. I mean, there's no more better Cinderella story than this right here. Certainly the underdog again, and we're going to see what Rob does. I'm excited to have him on Team Stimba.
I considered taking him at the number 2 pick just so he could not call himself the ultimate underdog. But now that you've got him at 45, I think we're right back to it again.
I'm telling you, it's his superpower. This is what's going to make him be up front.
Yeah, I mean, he's a very, good iRacer. He's one of the best dirt racers out there. Does not have the year he's wanted, missed out on the playoffs just by a little bit at the very end of the regular season, but he's been going for that hard charger award all season long and has been doing a great job. He's averaging around 16 or 17 positions gained per race, so knows how to pass the cars. Just see if he can get it done at a non-points paying race like this All-Star race that's going to be held here at Bristol. So Rob Yost finally off the board at pick number 45. So that's going to put Team Moo Crew back on the clock. This is my final pick of the draft, and I'm liking what I'm seeing right here. He's one of our newcomers, so not a lot known. about this man, Logan Truitt. Don't even know what he looks like, but he's had 3 top 10s, and I just feel like getting that value alone here in these later rounds is huge. This guy knows how to run up towards the front, just not enough experience here in SRN yet to really crack that top 5 and win column.
I think that's a strong pick. I think that just him being a mystery to everybody this season, I think that's going to give you an advantage here.
You know, we were able to sneak him in just after race 5. He's been with us since the 6th race of the season. Nobody knows him. We don't know who he is. We're just now getting to learn him and understand who he is. He's been with us 8 races. I mean, certainly I think a contender for the Tier 2 championship. And I'm excited to see what he can do, not only in the All-Star race, but in the seasons ahead of us as well.
Really has the speed too that I think at any given time, if it just clicks from green flag to checker flag, he's gonna get that top 5, top 3, possibly a win just because of how fast he is out there. It's just at some point in the race, something seems to pop up. I know that feeling all too well, and he's had a lot of success though. Those 3 top 10s, despite all that, just shows how fast he is on the track.
Team Silverback gonna take the pick here, pick number 47. A few guys left on the board here, Sean. Who you taking?
You know, again, we're kind of getting down to the nitty gritty here. So I'm taking a guy that, what I love about this guy is that he's super consistent. So average start of 22nd, average finish of 21st. He is always right there where he needs to be. He doesn't really get himself into a ton of trouble or anything. But Christopher Bishop from Murray Reed Motorsports is who I'm going with.
You know, this is another Murray Reed Motorsports guy. These guys have been around. They know what they're doing. It's just a matter of time getting himself settled in here in SRN and picking up those top 10s, top 5s, and wins. He's definitely got the talent, and we're going to see that on display here at the All-Star race.
Yeah, been around him on the track a few times in the Xfinity side, and really like his style out there. Very clean, consistent, holds a good wheel, and that, you know, I think this race at Bristol, it's going to get wild. We're going to see 3 wide. We could even see maybe 4 wide if you get wild enough there on the straightaways. I think having that ability to keep that thing going straight, I think that's going to go a long way.
I wouldn't call 4 wide. You're going to have 3 cars battling for position, passing Sean, who's down on the shoulder there.
Well, yeah, this is a really good pick, and he might not be the best individual standings driver out there, but man, he is a great teammate from what I've seen, and really helping his team in those team championship standings. So it could be a great team player for Team Silverback when we get to the All-Star race. So that's going to go ahead and put Team Wolfpack back on the clock here. Pick number 48 to round out round 12 here. Who you got, Brandon?
Well, I still got somebody that's in the top 20 in points in their league. In the truck side, finished 9th place at Dover for a top 10 here this season. I'm going to go with old Jason Kratke here in this 48th pick.
Yeah, and a former winner here in SRN2, I do believe, Sean, right? He's won in the truck series, so just kind of crazy to see a winner this far down in the draft.
I'm trying to go back and find out which race he won, but I seem to remember it.
I feel like it was like a Kansas or something like that, or Kentucky. I don't know, but I remember when he shocked everybody, and I'm fairly certain he's got a win to his name, so this is a great value pick.
Yeah, I mean, still one of those drivers out there that you just never know when he could strike. And anybody on that Bobby Anderson Racing team has that access to Bobby. And one of those things is just learning as you go. And really, that's something that Jason's done a lot of.
Well, let's take a look at the last 8 picks here. Getting towards the end of this thing, only 2 left in it. So Connor Cunningham, Dave Hughes Jr., Byron McDonald, John Holliday, Rob Yost, Logan Truitt, Chris Bishop, and Jason Kratke all finding where they're going to be going in this draft. And like I said, that is going to leave it to just 2 picks left in this thing. Team Wolfpack going to be the next one on the clock.
I think this is a bit of an injustice for how well he's progressed this year, and I like what he's done in a rookie season. I know the results haven't exactly translated that, but Zachary Bergeson, I've just really liked what he's done on the track. I think he's got a good personality out there as well, and I just think he's going to be a good fit here on Wolfpack for our final pick.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate side of drafts is sometimes it's just so talented. You find these guys that have really had solid parts of the season, but just not able to put it all together down here. And this is exactly what you just found with number 40 out of Tank Racing, Zachary Ferguson going to Team Wolfpack. So that's going to wrap up the draft for Team Wolfpack and leave one team left on the clock. And we hate this term, but it's the term that, another sports league uses kind of. Let's go ahead and get to Mr. Irrelevant, our last pick of the draft. Who you got, Sean?
Call him Mr. Irrelevant. I disagree 100%, and I know that Brandon picked somebody a little bit earlier that he said was the most improved. I disagree with that comment as well, because Walt Lipicki is the most improved driver in all 3 series combined by far. It's not even close. Let me give you a stat. Last season, he had 309 incident points. This season, through 13 weeks, he only has 80.
Yeah.
So he is learning to control that car. He is learning to move up through the pack. He actually has a better average finish than he does start. And so that tells me that he is learning as he goes. And I love talking to this guy. Has one of the best attitudes in the entire league. He is here to have a good time, and I love having him. I'm going to tell you right now, I did not have him at 50 on my list. I'd had him around 44, and I'm really glad he fell to me at 50.
Yeah, sorry, I was just, with the 49th pick, the worst part about that was I think both these guys, both Walt and both Zachary, just both don't deserve to be the last pick of the draft. And I really like what Ferguson's done as a rookie. I really like what Walt's done this year as well, because you can see he's gotten better. He's gotten more consistent out there. And it's translating to a lot more. They always say you want a quiet race. A quiet race is a good race while you're still kind of developing things and still improving out there. He's had a lot of good, solid, quiet races where at the end of a broadcast we say, hey, right there in the top 20, hey, right there in the top 15. He's been having a lot better of a season here.
I'll tell you guys, Walt's certainly one of my favorite guys in all of our leagues. He's been with us a couple of seasons now. The thing I love about Walt is week in, week out, he's here. He's putting in the effort. He's getting better. He's getting more consistent. The numbers don't lie, like Sean said, when it comes to the incident points. He's becoming a much cleaner race. A couple seasons from now, we're going to be talking about Walt up here in the with the top 10s and the top 5. So I'm excited about what the future holds for Walt with SRN, and also this we hadn't seen Dr. Lipicki in a Miata. Who knows what the man can do?
Yeah,
we're about to find out.
Yeah, maybe he's got a few parked at home. You mentioned it. The man's a doctor, so he's busy while racing with us here in SRN. So,
he's about to operate.
Yeah, we'll see what he can do. And hey, I was picked towards the end of the Season 1 draft. This is the last time that we did this with the All-Star race. And I used that as fuel, and it helped me in the next season to runner-up in those championship standings. So go ahead and put this in your back pocket, Dr. Lipicki. We'll see what you can do. So that is going to wrap that up. Let's go ahead and go back, take a look at the picks here through these 50 picks here tonight. Causey going number 1, Timothy Latham 2, Ed Shearer 3, Seth Reed rounding out your 4th pick here in the first round. What name sticks out to you most here as kind of a value pick, and what do you think is a name that dropped a little too far?
I think Schumacher at 15 fell way too far. I'm super happy that he did. I'll take that all day long. But I also believe that Michael Madden should have been top 10 easily.
Yeah, I won't pat myself on the back like Sean just did there and go with my pick, but if I did, it would probably be Landon Cardulo at 16 still being there, but I would agree. Michael Madden at 11 I think is an absolute steal. I think Blair Holloman's going to be a sneaky one as well at 13.
I got to be honest with you, I don't think you guys really thought through letting James Shane Wolf get to number 12. I mean, how could you guys let that happen?
I'm not disagreeing with you. I am not disagreeing with you at all. I think that was a very, very good pick. Every now and then you get something right, Trip, but never on the track.
I'm looking at the guy that was taken number 7, Reese Schaefer, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say with just one win next to his name this year, I feel like that guy would have been a first-round pick, no doubt. I think he might have been the steal of the draft going in the second round. So that is my pick right there. And like you said, I just have a hard time believing that Landon Cardulo fell to pick number 16, so he's definitely going to put that in his back pocket and use that as fuel. So let's go ahead and take a look at the next 4 rounds. This is round 5 through 8 here tonight. Andrew Harris going at 17. I mean, you got newcomer Lane Hosler and Matthew Greathouse, 2 rookies going here through the middle rounds. A few other names like Aaron Gerwitz back there at 29. And a few winners on this list too. Devin Zimmerman, the one sticking out there.
Danny Dow with the season 1 championship. You can't let that get too far away from me either. I mean,
that's almost as old as you are, Trip. Come on.
There it is. Hey, let me tell you something. I will tell you guys that there's been last season the most dominant team, not just in the All-Star race, in the entire All-Star weekend, hands down, Team Simba. We're looking for a little repeat action this season.
I think Gerwitz at 29, that's a steal as far as that's concerned. I think the other one, and I am going to pat myself on the back, is Emerson Ardon. He's done nothing but get better and better and better. I really think that he is one of those drivers that he could pop off a win here.
I mean, lots of these names could have been on the first 2 slides there. It's just amazing, these guys. But it just shows you the level of talent we have across these leagues.
And Greg, I'll give you the little nod here. I think somebody that's going to be a sleeper come All-Star weekend is Jeremy Little there at number 30. Really good short track guy. I'd keep that name on the tip of the tongue there as you're watching things progress this weekend.
Well, let's check out picks 33 through 48 here. Getting towards the end of this one, and it's just astonishing to see, and you spoke on it, Trip, just the level of talent we have here, and it's kind of crazy, and this is what makes it fun for us, is just seeing how hard it is to pick these guys, and you have some winners on this list back here from 33 through 48, so that speaks volumes on this league.
That Byron McDonald pick is amazing at 43. He should have been in low 30s at most. And so a great pick on that one.
I mean, Sailor's at 39, in my opinion. He's the dark horse in this group right here. I mean, this guy he's no joke. I've been watching him for a couple of years now. He wheels the hell out of the Cup cars, and I look for him to really shock us with being at the 39th pick.
I want him to shock me by putting you into the wall. I know you're friends and all that stuff. Oh, wait, are we not supposed to say that?
Yeah, I'm sure you'll gladly handle that, Sean.
Are we not supposed to say that?
Well, let's go ahead.
I'm not saying there's a bounty on Trip. I'm just saying there might be extra money around.
Well, the last 2 picks. Couldn't fit him on the last slide. Zachary Ferguson, Walt Lipicki. We just spoke about those guys. And they're going to be remembering this one as the day that Sean and Brandon took them last in the draft. They're going to go ahead and put it out there. And I would not be surprised to see these 2 guys competing up there and maybe making a run at this thing to prove us wrong.
Oh, they absolutely can do very well in this race. And shoot, I can take a little shot at myself. I was in the top half of the draft last year, and let's see how that's turned out since that point in the Xfinity run. It hasn't gone exceptionally well, but there's some guys that, like we were talking about this whole time, it's the worst part about the draft is there's going to be people at the back. I think these 2 are deserving of far more than being the last 2 in the draft. It's just where the cards kind of fell.
We're taking 36, the top 18 from each qualifier, plus the captains into the actual All-Star race. I'm making a prediction right now. Walt Lipicki will be in that 36.
I agree. I think he'll be there as well. And the beauty of it is, I mean, these guys certainly don't have to worry about coming in last in the All-Star race because that's where Sean will be.
Oh, gosh.
If only we could stay on all night with these constant burns. We just don't have enough ointment for them, but Trip constantly laying them on here.
Look at these pictures. I mean, we got 3 good-looking dudes, and you got Bill Belichick lookalike over here. What is going on?
Look at Sean. What a picture right there. Look at that guy.
That was 80 pounds ago.
Pretty sure before we came on that Trip said, doesn't Sean look like he's our dad? And I kind of agree.
Who's your daddy?
Oh, boy. Well, that's going to do it for us here tonight. We certainly appreciate each and every one of you for stopping on by here. We just love doing this, and we're so excited to have the All-Star back. It's here, boys. Are you excited to get out in the Miatas?
Let's go Team Stimba. Let's go Stimba. All right, we can shut it down now. We've said what we need to say.
So the first matchup will be
Just like our dad telling a story. Oh my gosh, come on, end it already.
Well, I mean, but I'm just being sure that everybody out there knows. So the first qualifier will be who? Brandon Domain and Jason Tripp. Your two teams, Team Simba and Team Wolfpack. And then the other qualifier will be Team Silverback and Team Moo Crew.
All right, so
Is that correct?
All right. Well, I guess it is, isn't it?
It is now. That's what we're going with, Sean. You just put it out there into existence, and that's what we're going to go with.
Well, okay, then that's how that
We're
is
not
going
afraid.
to work.
Look, we're not afraid of you over there at Team Silverback. We're ready to go.
I mean that's okay. So basically, what's going to happen is the first qualifier is going to be Saturday, June the 11th. That's tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central Time. And the captains can wish if they want, or can race if they want to. They don't have to. But then that's going to be Team Wolfpack versus Team Stimba. And Wolfpack, you're going to get all your guys in, and Jason Tripp's going to screw up everything else. And then you've got my team. You've got Team Silverback and Team Moo Crew out there in qualifier number 2, which is Saturday, June the 11th, which is tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. Central. Again, captains may race if they wish. So the top 18 non-captain drivers from each of those qualifiers will make it into the All-Star race, which will be Sunday at 8:30 p.m. Central. So, and I'm fully expecting the captains to race there unless Greg has to broadcast. Regardless, I want to see Jason Tripp on the track, just if for no other reason than to pass him multiple times as he is going laps down.
You're crazy. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, well, we will not be, like you said, broadcasting those heat races, but we will try to get some highlights for you on Sunday. Of course, I will have all the action here. I believe we'll have Brandon Domain up in the booth. I think Sean's going to have his hands full admitting the race, so me and Brandon will have the call for you. Tripp's going to be out on vacation somewhere having a good old time.
What else is new?
Yeah, he's going to be skipping out on school here on Sunday, but we are thrilled to get down to business. We're going to get those cars all painted up, handed out to the drivers, and have matching cars, kind of like the old IROC days, so that'll be pretty cool too.
And man, I can't wait. This is going to be fun. I think everybody needs kind of a week off, kind of just needs a breather, and it'll be a lot of fun.
But, I mean, they're racing for something too, though. It's not all for fun. They got a prize going on here too.
Oh, there's money out there.
Yeah, I got the money out there, got the bragging rights, and I think that All-Star win is just such a cool thing to go out there and grab, just because it's everybody all in one race. And I know we've kind of got that overlap in here this season between a couple different leagues, if you're able to do so. But to get the best of all 3 leagues together, just going to be a heck of a weekend.
Yeah, so the winner of the All-Star race is going to come away with $150. Second place going to get $80. Third going to get $40. And even the hard charger going to get paid out. So maybe Rob Yost might be making an attempt at that. $20 going to the hard charger, but you got to qualify within 2 seconds.
You have to qualify this time.
Yes, within the leader's time to be eligible. So qualifiers even getting paid out too. Add a little incentive to those. First place gonna get $30 in each one of those heat races. 20 going to second place, and third gonna get $10. And if you get that pole position out there in qualifying, go ahead and put $10 back in your pocket too. So a lot of stuff on the line, and here and maybe other things might be added.
Yeah, I mean, anybody that takes out Jason Tripp. Again, I can't say that, can I? That's against, intentional wrecking is illegal. Don't do that.
You'll certainly handle it because of your lack of talent. Nobody else needs to worry about it.
Well, there you go, guys. That's going to wrap it up for here tonight. We appreciate each and every one of you stopping by. This has been a lot of fun to do. Let's go ahead, get down to business. We're going to turn these boys loose here tomorrow night for the heat races here at Bristol in these Miatas. Nobody going to have an inch of practice because this is just now happening. Let's go ahead and get to it. So definitely join us on Sunday for that race. We're going to kick that off at, 9? I'm trying to look and I can't even see.
So the Saturday qualifiers, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Central. So again, that's going to be Team Wolfpack and Team Stimba. And then on Saturday also, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9:30 Eastern, it'll be Team Silverback and Team Moo Crew. Now the top 18 finishers that are not captains will make it to the All-Star race, which will be Sunday at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern, and that will be the big one.
There you go. Definitely come on back for that action. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to crown ourselves an all-star here in just a few days. So definitely hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that little bell so you know any time that we go live. We'll be right back in just a couple days. So definitely come on back. It's going to be a good one. Get some rest, guys. It's been a long night. Go enjoy spending some time with your new teams. And, I mean, I can tell you guys to stop the trash talking, but I know it'll never end.
No, sir.
All right, so definitely come back. Thanks again, everybody. Good night. And as always, remember to go faster.